Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Cancer. If Cancer is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so our card tonight is the Knight of Wands. Okay, let's take a look and see what these tea leaves have to say tonight. And so if you have not subscribed to the channel, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It's free to subscribe. I like to just mention that at the beginning and at the end. Okay. Let's see. What do we have going on tonight? It has been a day, I tell ya. It was really pretty outside. But then we had just not the best news within the family. I won't say what happened exactly, but it's health related stuff, and it's hard, you know. It's hard. I know we all have family members going through things. We all have things going on with ourselves as well. But I don't know. So, not to start on a sad or difficult note here, because we're going to have a good reading. We have that Knight of Wands energy, and I feel those, you know, the what was I going to say? Passions arising, desires arising, a sense of just almost kind of urgent creativity, right? Like you must make something now. And that's not a bad feeling, especially if you are a Cancer and you like to tinker with things, you like to build things, you like to, you know, kind of set down the plans to build something or create something. It's a fun process, definitely. Now we have a giant owl right here. You can see the ears and the tail kind of down here. Here would be the face. Okay, and then we have kind of a smaller bird sitting over here, right kind of on this. It looks like a branch. And so we have a messenger, which is the smaller bird, and then we have the watcher, right? The wise old owl, just kind of sitting back, blending in, keeping their eyes on everything. And so, you know, I think it's not unreasonable to kind of relate this to a Cancer person, as you all are so very perceptive and often I think pretty happy kind of hanging out, taking in all the information you can and really kind of seeing what is going on from further away, right? You kind of want a larger perspective on things. And I do think that that is definitely the mode that you are in. It's probably the mode you are often in. So no difference here than the usual. But we do have that message coming through, and above it we have a little a crown here. You can see. And then above that we have, it looks like a hook. Okay. Crown and a hook. And we have an airplane right here. We have somebody with an A name. It looks like that is involved. And I wonder if there's a sense of kind of being called home. We have a shoe. So I wonder if you aren't needing to go home for something, and this maybe is one of the holidays that's going on, or this could be that something is happening within the family, or there is some kind of, business or some such that you have to take care of. Excuse me. In your home area. My goodness. Now, I'm going to apologize. I know. I absolutely thought I was getting fully over this, but now it's just back in my lungs again. So, I thank you. I appreciate you for putting up with me. Last night, my Taurus video was riddled with the coughing. So, I prepped hoping that I would not be coughing very much here. But we're off to not a good start. So, I feel like there's a sense of going home. And I almost kind of feel like there is maybe a sibling involved. Now, something that I've read about, and I hope that I'm getting this right, there's this idea of among siblings or family members, often in a family, something that would be called like the golden child. It's one of the siblings who is kind of the favorite, kind of can't do any wrong, is always the chosen one. And then there are kind of the other kids, right? Or the other, not necessarily kids, but other siblings, other family members, cousins, whoever. And I feel like there's a, I don't want to break this to you if you don't already know. But you probably, in this situation, if you were hearing this, maybe are not the golden child of the family. Now, that's not to say you're not adored. You're not, you're definitely loved. But this other, sibling definitely kind of, gets under your skin a little bit. I think that you love each other, but there's always this kind of weird competitive nature about them. And I think it's because they're used to kind of winning in life in general. And they just can't help themselves. And even as you've grown into your adulthood and elder years, there is still this sense of kind of always trying to be, the one that's doing the best, the one that's doing the most interesting things. You have the most perfect family or whatever it is. And I don't think that you compete in this way, but I think that, and this is where this hook comes in, I feel like they try to lure you into these kinds of competitions. And now let me just say, this could be family. I think this also could be a friendship. It could be somebody that you are friends with that is just kind of a very competitive person, right? And so I do feel like in this traveling, in this going home, in this being with family, and now I said that there's a plane on there. I just want to make this clear. Hi, baby. It doesn't mean that you have to be getting on a plane. It could be that you are going down the street. Maybe you live like 3 houses down from your parents, but it seems like going home. It doesn't have to be parents either, but going to a place that feels like home. So I feel like this is like you are getting prepared mentally for kind of this, SH show that kind of happens every year. And, I think every year you have just this high hopes that this will be a different time. Things will be okay. We're all going to get along. Nobody's going to say anything, mean or snide or hurt anybody's feelings. And, I am holding on to that hope too for you. But I do think that you have to be prepared, because this is a kind of person, and I assume their family is an extension of this. They just like to, be the best of everything, or perceive themselves to be. And I think that that's just something that, sometimes we have to learn to put up with it. Especially if it's somebody that we love. We just kind of have to take it as this is like a quirky thing about them. So, I see we have an X and an O. So I do feel like there is a sense of real love there, and I think even if things haven't changed greatly as you've gotten older, I do feel like you can count on one another. And when you're in the thing, it feels terrible. But, not terrible. But, it can kind of really sting. It's just like kind of just be humble. And TT's over here burping. That wasn't me, I promise. But at the same time, it's kind of like, you just know it's gonna, and you're not gonna get dragged into it anymore. So I do see that you probably have quite a good time, and I do feel like there is almost this sense of, it's almost kind of absurd a little bit. At this point, it's kind of just like, okay, whatever you need to kind of believe to be in your own little bubble, doing your own little thing. You're just not even going to try to help them see the light, right? So I do feel that I do feel like this is an important time with your parents, or whoever the family members are that you're going to be with. And I want to look over it this way, because we kind of have this, we have the peacock, okay? So we have the mother here. And I get to the mother because the peacock is related to Juno. Juno is a mother goddess, right? And so, and very much like Hera. They're kind of composites of one another. And so when I see this, I know that there's something going on with Mom. This is a real big one. It's a beautiful peacock. And I think that there's, it kind of, and this is what it's like to be a mom. You just kind of want to all be together. Because you want to see your kids together. You want to see your family together. And, I think your mom is probably a pretty sentimental person. And I don't think that she's very showy or necessarily like kind of superficial like you would think if you see the peacock. But I think for her, it is that she wants to see everybody kind of doing well. And, at times that maybe has been difficult because, being a Cancer person, although you don't necessarily want to show off your feelings to everybody, it's not always easy to put on kind of that sunny disposition, especially when you're going into a situation that feels pretty anxious. I don't think that you are together with your family a lot. So it's not like you're in practice seeing them every Sunday night or whatever. But I do think that ultimately, there's this energy of really wanting to show up for mom, right? You really do want to make the best of the situation, get along as much as you can, and enjoy these moments, have these memories together. And I think that a lot of this has to do with the self-work that you have been doing. I feel like you're trying to approach things more and more from this place of gratitude, of looking for kind of the positives, even in a situation that historically has been not your favorite thing, right? Hi, baby. Okay, you just stay right there. And so, oh my goodness, all the things all at once, huh? Did you turn on the water thing? No. Okay, so, let's see, what else do we have? What else? I want to turn it this way. Well, let's see, we have Hathor as well. We have the head of the cow, and Hathor is also a mother archetype, goddess, a middle goddess. So again, mother, the feeling of mother. Okay. Now, we have a heart right down here. And below it, we also have the 10, 1 and a 0. And this one looks like it says leek, L-E-E-K, which is like the leeks, like the onions. I love leek soup, by the way. Very good. One of my favorite things to make. And then we have... It looks like a person here. You can see kind of the head, maybe kind of covered. Side profile right here. And it kind of reminds me of my Baba, really, with the head covered. And kind of maybe like a kind of mom figure or grandma figure. Wrapped up, we have, it looks like a child behind with hand held out, kind of almost being carried by mom or grandma. Now, there is kind of, it looks like almost like a snake's tongue kind of, and a heart right there. So I kind of almost feel like mom, grandma, mother figures in the family, very prominent. This is definitely kind of a matriarchal family. And I feel like you fit right into that culture. Now this particular, I don't think this is the same as mom. This maybe almost feels like grandma, or maybe this is like auntie, or maybe this is a sister of yours. Very much kind of embodies motherhood in a lot of ways. Of course, not the only thing. But I think somebody who really has embraced this identity deeply, which, I used to think, oh, how kind of lame. Like, that's your whole thing. You're a mom, right? And then I had a kid, and I'm like, it's the coolest thing ever. It's the hardest, but it's the coolest. I am mom before anything else. And you're slipping, honey, by the way, little TT. And so this particular person, I think, although they love greatly, I think that they are somebody who has quite a sharp tongue. And I think that they're somebody who can kind of really be quite judgmental, narrow-minded, and kind of make you feel almost like you can't always be super open around them. because either you're afraid of what they'll have to say, or that they just kind of, whatever you kind of share with them, they will say to anybody, and they don't they're not very careful about how they convey private information. Okay, and so I think this has made you feel like you can't necessarily trust anything with them. Not that you don't love them, of course you do. But I think this is in contrast to the other mother figure that I was looking at. That is somebody who kind of really rides for you. I mean, you are just there. Her children, her kids, her maybe grandchildren are everything. I knew you were gonna do that, Mama. Come on, you have to go now. No tail washing this. Go. And would take everything to the grave, right? Not going to tell anybody anything. This, on the other hand, feels like, yeah, somebody that it's like, I love you, but I can't really tell you too much. Because I know you're going to say something to everybody. So I think that, this is also kind of the counterbalance of energy here. And I think this does add to the stress a little bit. But ultimately, I think in your life, these women, and I'm sure that there are more in the family, are just absolutely the shining stars of your world. They are hardworking, loving, did so much to give you a good life and continue to support you in so many ways. And I think from that, you yourself have become a really caring and devoted person. If you are a woman or a man, or identify in any other category there, it doesn't matter, right? We're not just talking about you yourself becoming a mother and kind of emulating the same energy. But I do think that you have absorbed this kind of strength and as I said, I keep thinking this devotion. There's just absolute devotion. Now, of course, there are times when things probably have been difficult, and maybe mom has been cross and not always the most understanding, but very much in your corner, right? And so I think that there's kind of this amount of feeling a bit alienated, but that those kind of mother figures in your life, the women of your life, have always made you feel that there is a sense of community and inclusion, and it is not something that is conditional on your behavior or your your identifiers or anything like that. And I think as you got out into the wider world, you realized how lucky you are, even if it is something that's hard, right? There's always things about family life that can be very difficult. If other people understand it or not, it doesn't matter. It's all relative to each of us. And so, I think ultimately a beautiful time here and something to be cherished. I also think that there, as much as you don't look forward to kind of being in this dynamic sometimes, I think that you really kind of get a good recharge from being with the family. Okay, let's take a look over here. So we have a J and a J with JJ. And we have the 10 again up here. So I feel like there is a sense of I kind of feel like there's this sense of kind of, I keep thinking of like breaking ground. There's a sense of beginning something, or remembering beginning a relationship. And I think kind of going through this reminder to yourself that this maybe last relationship or the relationship you're in, it, you know, in a lot of ways, I think you kind of romanticize parts of it, but you think back to these first, you know, weeks, months, even maybe a couple of years, thinking about how much work and how hard it was for you to kind of find a comfortable place with your person. And not necessarily because of anything about them that really super bothered you, but I think that mostly you are, excuse me, mostly you're a pretty solitary person. And you kind of like living how you like to live. You don't necessarily love hearing anybody telling you about yourself, or, oh, you should do something this way or that way, or, you know, kind of sharing a space, and they're kind of, the way that they like to keep things is different than how you like things. You have your own kind of organizing, and they have theirs. And, you know, I think in practical matters, this is where it was kind of difficult for you. And I feel like you finally got into a place where it was like, it felt for you like, yeah, this is all coming together. We're finally like we found our stride together. And I think that it feels really good, that bit of it. Now, I also feel like there seems to be some amount of, I think, stress or disconnect. Okay. And maybe it is that you're already separated, or, you know, have broken up completely, and you kind of return back to, this, you know, maybe we should get back together. Maybe I should try again. But I do feel like there's this sense of reminding yourself this was a really uncomfortable thing for quite a while. And it's not to say that relationships are supposed to be easy all the time. But I think that more than not, what this is kind of reminding yourself, like, I really value my own space. I really value the life that I have created for myself. And you know, we can still be family. We can still love each other. We can, you know, do the things that we want to do together. But I have to have some amount of compromise so that I can be more comfortable in my own life. And I'm not going through that process again, right? Of trying to sort things out from square one. So, you know, I think it's something that it feels like a thing that you are kind of, you know, mulling over a bit. And you know, I at the same time, I think that there's a lot of love there, you know, but I feel like, you know, more than anything, it is take it slow, like any Cancer would. Take things slow. Don't go too quickly. So, all right, let's take a look. We're going to look at the lightness of being affirmation cards. Okay, and I'm going to have to grab these, Mama. Thank you. Okay, here we go. Okay, and I'm going to flip and stop where it feels right. Okay. And it says truth, peace. Answers will come clearly as you pause and relax. Kissed by the eternal sun. Kissed by the eternal sun. Yeah. I like these cards. They're really pretty. All of them are pretty. Okay. All right, Cancer, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I love you because I do. And I want to thank you so much for spending this time with me. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. And if you would be so, oh no, yes. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out, and it is free to subscribe. If you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I would love to hear from you. Yeah, and I think that's it. Just have TT over here knocking stuff, aren't ya? And we have so we have all these holidays happening right now, festivals and celebrations. So happy Ramadan, happy Easter, and a lot of the fertility festivals, and now we're in spring, we're in fall. Excuse me, but still celebrating the more mild weather wherever you are, I hope. And yeah, so again, don't lick my face, please. Again, I'll tell you I love you. I love you, I love you, and I thank you so much. Take care of yourself, and we'll talk in just a few days. Right, TT? All right, good night.